It's just the only place that he's a little bit weak is in the safe lane. He has some problems because he's generally a bit of a lane dominator. He's kind of like Viper, but he's also kind of a core. So I'm very curious to see how PyCat actually plays it. But I think it can get some good stuff done. He just has to get a little tanky, get a BKB, and then participate in a lot of fights. That's the important part.
Yeah, and for sure, Navi is certainly going to be looking for those fights with the full lineup in consideration. SK, Warlock, Legion, Lina very much ready to go and look to throw a few punches the way of LFI, but we'll see how they can do it here as we get into game 2.
He may even go for something like a mech build, it's possible, but wouldn't necessarily say it's good, but it's definitely a possibility. Once again, Navi, no levels. This is definitely the lowest level team I've seen.
Do you think it is?
Yes.
I think normally one of the teams that, yeah, they have at least one player that's hitting the 1K.
I mean, what it probably is PyCat probably plays on a Smurf or something like that, which is why
he's got multiple accounts.
He only had a little bit.
Here
only had a little bit of levels.
We'll see how this one goes. FY.
Savage,
that's their forecast of the game. 1-8 laying it out as is his build prepped for him. Treads into Mask of Madness will be what he's helping for on the Sven this time. And so that mid lane, you were saying you don't think Super's going to have a super easy time here. Dendi and Navi can do stuff to slow down the DP in the middle lane.
I think it's fine. It kind of goes both ways, really. Because Warlock's not going to roam very much. Sand King most likely will. But Lina's got good damage, and Death Prophet also has solutions. She can silence whoever's about to gank her. She can Spirit Siphon to keep healed up. It's kind of both ways. And I think Death Prophet's definitely hit some kind of resurgence. And it's mostly the talent tree has been buffed heavily. She had one of the worst talent trees when they first came out. It was like 8% magic resistance perk, 5% spell amp. Their 15 was bad. It was like cast range and something else that was kind of crappy. It wasn't Cryptstorm cooldown originally. So I played her like a week or two ago, and I went like Bloodstone, which I kind of felt good. It's like kind of Lina-esque, right? You just Bloodstone, you just cast Cryptstorm all the time, especially with the perk, 3.5 second cooldown for a 300 damage nuke. It's pretty good. It's kind of like old Death Prophet, basically. They're going to go mess around at the other room, though.
Ooh, stack their stuns there. And with that in mind, General, can he run himself away? They will have another Frostbite in a second, and that may just be enough to secure the kill. And they do indeed. Ooh, he's trying to get through the tree line. He's not going to work.
You know, if he actually committed 2 tangos that, I think he would have lived. But ultimately, it would have just delayed him running back to base to heal and then TP. Buying back or dying there might actually be better. Instantly, he's actually walking into the off lanes. This might mean that Navi's going to swap lanes. I think they expected their opponents to do an aggro or a safe lane try, and now...
So they wanted PyCat against the Sven.
He changed his mind. Ends up going top and loses a little bit of mana because of that. So, slightly negative, but it's probably worth it for the levels for now. He's already at 1.5.
But yeah, I think you're right. So you think this initial play from Navi was to try and get their tri lane against Monet's Sven?
Yeah, absolutely. Because then Razor, you get the benefits of him, right? He's a laning hero. He's good at zoning opponents basically, and they would have had that advantage against him. Instead, it's going to be Legion having a tough lane.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here. There's a lot of kill potential from the side of LFY as they come in. Frostbite into the Stormhammer. General trying to get himself away. He will do so, saving himself with the Presti attack, but again, it's going to be so hard for him to find much from this lane. DDC and Alpha, a very potent combo in the laning stage.
Yep, so they're just focusing on trying to kill their opponents repeatedly. It's kind of cool to see CM played like this, just more of a tri-lane hero. Like, her right-click damage is terrible, but she does have a pretty good nuke. Oh, DDC just pulled the enemy creeps. Okay, they're good.
See down bottom, in flame. Just hiding in the trees, making sure they can pick up the XP of this lane. Not quite level 2. By the harassing him back with the Shadow Word. Suneiko's actually going to head down towards the bottom lane with this movement. So if they could do anything about this. Got full vision up the bat here. The ward, Suneiko getting into position. Looking to line up the Burrow Strike. We'll start to just go over the right. Oh!
My eyes just exploded.
I mean, I guess maybe they would have got the kill anyway if he hit, but...
Yeah, but they also would have done probably 300 damage at least.
Yes, yeah.
That was huge mistake by Suneiko there. Yeah. I thought he was going to hit a second time. If he wasn't going to hit a second time, he should have just stunned right away. So that was kind of a big mistake. Courier's going to get sniped, maybe? Nope. Actually, Afu's not going to be able to get this, and he's going to die. All right, that's the reverse Courier snipe, 118 gold. This will sprinkle onto Navi. Favor's got to be a little careful, but luckily for him, Batrider's isn't 2 yet. Batrider's 2, he dies every time. But the death actually going to pay off here.
Yeah, Afu coming in Indeed, off the back of that death and TP, but it's still not quite enough. Looks like the bat doesn't want to commit. A little scared of Pycat's presence. Now Pycat will be enough to turn. So Arfu doesn't get the kill. Inflame's got to be careful here. Seneko looking to come in. Still just that level 1 Burrow Strike. So not really much you can do unless they get right up in the face of the SK.
Well, they're still doing pretty well. The fact that Batrider's not even 2 yet is a good advantage that they have here. Back in the mid lane, looking pretty equal. That's not true. 17, 18 now for Dendi versus the 11 of Death Prophet. Just a bit of an advantage. Longer range attacks for Lina. Dragon Slave goes way farther than Cryptstorm does. Cryptstorm's like a regular nuke. Dragon Slave is its strong buffed area. And he's never going to get close to the Death Prophet anyway, so you can't even abuse Spirit Siphon too much.
Down bottom as well, Inflame having to be very careful. He's hanging around on incredibly low HP. Seneco's still there. He's actually going to cut through the tree line. This time, the Burrow Strike will connect. Can they get themselves the kill with the Shadow Word? That should indeed be enough, and it will. Biva will be able to find Inflame with this time the solid Burrow Strike from Seneko.
The Warlocks actually looked really effective here against the Bat. The fact that they kept him at level 1 is a huge change here, huge deal maker. If it wasn't for that, it would have been an easier trade for Bat. He can basically just outplay the Warlock at almost any point, but the fact that they kept him 1 for 4 minutes, like, man, it gave them such a big advantage. And maybe Seneko hasn't been as effective this game, but maybe that's a lot of the reason that Batrider's been sitting back. He's always worried about the rotation. And even Legion Commander's doing okay, level 3 on him.
Yeah, he's nearly level 4 as well. It's, other than the earlier starts to have a bit of attempt onto his life, General's been playing pretty safe up on this top lane. Of course, not really being able to do too much in terms of slowing down Monet's farm, as Monet sits there 24 CS, and a fair few denies as well. General, they have the confidence to just come in and trade hits. They will now go for another attempt on him. They've got the slow DDC, not the mana for a Frostbite, so they won't be able to finish it. In the end of the day, General ends up sending more damage back the way of Monet, and forces him to salve up.
Yeah, super fun for General there to trade hits. Still getting experience, so he'll be happy. So I feel like Navi's slightly winning this game a bit. It's going okay. The fact that Razor's still getting full free farm, Batrider is pretty much shut down, and I'd say Legion is a little bit more farm independent than Batrider is, I'd say. Maybe that's not completely true, I guess, because Batrider can jungle easier, but I feel like you just get 6 on Legion, and it's a much more reliable kill than just Batrider. If Batrider has 6, sure, you're going to probably get a lasso off, and you're going to pull somebody out of position, but you're not going to do that much damage, and it's not the same kind of gank.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah. If General gets in and lands a good, overwhelming odds, he can get the kill on his own.
Yeah, that's true. So I would say just get Legion fast 6, turn him into some dual kills on Death Prophet and Batrider, and I think Navi's going to be in a great place, because no matter what, Dendi's going to get a lot of farm this game on Lina. So I think
very
that's
little
the way
they
to
can do
aim.
to slow him down. I mean, Super's catching back up in the middle lane, but Dendi's still with that slight lead. And as soon as that level 6 is hit on Dendi, Super's got to be careful. Soaring there as well, so the mana will pretty much always be there for Dendi to get the combo through with that ultimate once it's picked up.
Swords are rotating towards mid lane though. Level 2 on Earth Spirit and level 3 on Crystal Maiden.
There you go. Looking for Dendi. Oh, the Boulder Smash is nice as well. It gets the wall up, but still, Dendi does manage to get the Laguna Blade out. Not enough damage to kill
Great
off.
stun.
Oh, the Shadow Word heal. Biva keeps Dendi alive. General comes in as well with the press the attack, keeping the Lina alive in this one. Mass reactions from Navi as they did it. Lina survives. Navi get the kill onto the DP, and that's exactly what we need to see from Navi to come out on top of this laning stage.
Just really well played there. The fact that Warlock was there instantly to put the heal down completely changed things. It's a lot different than how they were playing yesterday. Just ready for the movements, they're reacting correctly, and they're putting their heals on the right people. So if you pick a defensive hero like Warlock, you have to make that work in the times you do have those opportunities. And they get a big turnaround kill. Death Prophet killed, and they didn't even need duel.
Eyes onto Seneko here. DDC and Inflame wanting to have a bit of a go onto this one. Arfu's there as well. Boulder Smash will connect. Spells on point. Arfu will grab the DD as well to help him with the extra bit of damage. Bit of miscommunication there. They do drop 2 sentries for this attempt on Seneko's life, but it will be successful as they finish him off there.
Still pretty worth it. Seneko's still having a little bit of trouble getting on the board, but I'm sure he'll be able to pick up things soon. And in the meantime, Podcast's just been AFK farming. It's like one of the really nice things about Razor, like just laning against him is tough. That's one of the most frustrating things actually when you're having a game where you don't have the best levels yourself. You just look at the bot lane, that's our safe lane, and they just can't go there because they know if they do, they're going to instantly get static linked, and Razor's going to beat anybody that shows up. So Ganking it, however, that's a different story. He's got really good strength gain, so you can gank Razor, but it's dangerous. So instead, they're just going to roam around and try to get kills. So as long as Navi react to those correctly, I think they're going to get a bigger advantage from this. And right now, they're at 1,000 gold advantage. It's a good spot.
See what they can do up top here. LFY looking towards General. Do they have the chain control with the Boulder Smash and the Storm Hammer? They certainly should. They put the God Strength when he has the damage. Reaction is there for Navi. Pycat's going to come in. Look for the Static Link chase down onto Monet. DDC
slow.
will hold him down with that slow. Still gets a fair bit of damage stolen, so we'll be able to take control of the lane for a bit, but doesn't manage to get that kill in revenge for losing General.
He definitely wanted a kill there, and he could have gotten one. They were all pretty low, but unfortunately just a little too slow for him. Maybe a point in Unstable Current would have made the difference there, but opting for more Plasma Field damage instead. It's definitely the better farming skill, that's for sure. But for now, very slow hero.
Mid lane, we'll give it to Biber for a little bit, trying to get him towards that 6. Get a good timing on the Chaotic Offering. And so as Super's actually going to leave the mid lane, head down towards bottom, the place that General now has found to call home. Level 6 on that Legion. See if they can get him involved in some movements. Obviously eyes on Dendi really to be there with him, as he's the one with a huge bit of burst damage to secure kills. Top lane they make a go on Pycat, but again it's unsuccessful, and he only just ends up getting a lot of damage stolen. He's got 77 damage in the bank. Seneca's going to see if he can get a Burrow Strike to catch out any of LFY. Has eyes onto Inflame, but they will respect the fact that Arfu's still there with him, and it's hard to go on one of these two heroes. But that spirit behind them.
So Navi still stabilizing well. Legion Commander going to go for a Tread, surprisingly. Kind of an interesting build. Don't see that one often, but I think it's going to give him much better ability to solo kill. That's one really good thing. FaZe is more of a get close to somebody and get a duel off. Treads is just more overall DPS, giving you 10 damage instead of 24, but the attack speed on top of that. So, not to mention Tread swapping. So, I think the Legion's going to be really crucial this game. There's quite a few disables on LFY, so as long as General plays safe and somebody else gets lassoed, for example, he can just debuff that every time. So, I really do like what Navi did with their draft this game. Like they've been pretty much impressing me every single draft, except for maybe the first one that I saw yesterday. But every other game has been great.
It's all coming together much nicer for Navi than it was in game 1 already. 10 minutes, coming up to 10 minutes in, and farm is looking pretty good for them. Dendi at the top of the net worth, on par with Monet. Pycat as well, very, very close to having the same as what the Sven has, and Super is falling slightly behind. General as well, ahead of the dark.
They found him. Oh, they're no stun. Oh.
Not right, but yeah, they can't quite get the lockdown onto Monet.
They were really not expecting the Sven to be there, and a little unfortunate. Dendi casted his Light Strike right before to just keep his Fiery Soul up, but then when he hit the high ground, he didn't have it ready. Gang coming top.
Top lane, they're going with the lasso. They have the DP ultimate as well. Pycat falling low and will be dropped. The DC with their finisher to claim the kill. Snake and Biver now have to be careful. Backing up as Super wants to chase them down with the Exorcism behind the tower. Seneko should be fine to get away. A little too far for them to maintain control. Biver hides in the tree line. So the least LFY off the back of a very big kill. Taking down Pycat should be able to have a good go at this tier 1 tower.
They're going to do some damage. They could kill it, but I think Navi can actually defend this. I mean, Exorcism is gone. They used Lasso there as well. And Razor can just TP. They're TPing in the Lina a little secretly here.
Look at this though, Arfu with that Invis rune sets up onto the SK. Actually misses the roll, overshooting it here. He's going to hand himself straight into the hands of Dendi, who gets him with the Light Strike array. Now Navi, they're looking for more. They've got the slow onto Super as the upheaval kicks in. They take down the Death Prophet.
Ooh.
And that push from LFY, as you said, it comes to an absolute halt. Navi, indeed, are able to very successfully defend that tier 1.
Pycat messed up, though. The Legion was just about to duel, but his last right click killed the Prophet instead. So it's maybe not the end of the world, because it's only 10 damage, but I actually wish the Legion would have just rotated around to wrap around to mid. Like, they've got 4 heroes pushing the tier 1 tower. He's still got duel now. Like, get in there, man. Somebody might defend, like, Bat right now. If he actually wrapped around, he could just run right behind Bat, duel this, and then they could get a kill, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. There's no Radiant Ward coverage of this area at all, so could still catch them by surprise. But General's, he's got his eyes on the farm.
Nah, it's absolutely not worth it. That was a huge mistake. That's like something I would do. Like, oh wait, we could go team fight. No, I'm gonna go jungle. Maybe no, I'm gonna go farm mid. Like, if he just wrapped around there, 100% they dive. Kill Bat Ritter, maybe the Death Prophet, both. And then they get the tier 1, 100%. But instead, Navi has to back off with 3 heroes. They go hit up the jungle again. They just lost a lot of tempo after winning that fight. And it all comes down to General not rotating.
But this time in as well, Monet he's back in his own jungle, and he's going to farm a lot quicker with that Mask of Madness now done. top of the net worth, looking for the S&Y as his next item. Once he has that, he's going to be a pretty beefy brawler in these skirmishes.
And really fast, too.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a big thing that Navi's lacking. They've got some disables. They've got Burrow Strike, they've got Light Strike Array, they've got Duel, but past that, not the best. And one good way they're offsetting that, though, is getting up P.V.A. levels. They've got 2 points right now on the Warlock, and I really like this choice, because Razor is pretty much a get tanky and chase down your opponent's hero. And once they get upheaval, it's going to be even easier for him to get lots of static link, do more damage with his Plasma Field and his Eye of the Storm. So I like the items, or the skill builds that they're doing this game.
Yeah, that's right. And looking at how it's
trying to get
scales
Afu
as well.
bottom line, by the way.
Okay, Afu. Just get Snake. But yeah, looking at the scaling of that spell, the second level pretty much makes sure the slow increases at double the speed, nearly double the speed.
It's really good.
A big step up in that second point.
I think you get minimum 3 points in this skill if you do grab it early. Sometimes 4 if you really want to. Like it's actually so game winning sometimes.
Yeah, very very good when you got a Razor in the team.
And they will be slowing things down, but she's going to get out of there in time. Batrider looking to swap around. He's got Drum of Endurance up for the first initiation, and same for Razor. So pretty similar item builds. Seneco's going to instantly deward that Observer, but that was a fresh one. Maybe he'll realize that the bat is close by. And
let's see what they can do with this here. They smoke up. This is a great time for them to fight. They know that there's no exorcism. They will leave Seneca, obviously, to keep himself showing on the middle lane, so LFY aren't too suspect of this movement. And they're going to head for Afu. Not necessarily the biggest of kills. They'll drop the rock for this, and we'll secure them the dual win. And obviously dropping the rock for an Earth Spirit, not necessarily the best, but if it gets a dual win, if it gets your tower, you're fine with that.
They actually had to drop the rock there. There's almost no way that they get him otherwise, because if they just do damage to him and he starts rolling Boulder away, he's gone.
Okay.
Simply put, gets out. So they had to drop the rock to guarantee that kill. I mean, it's very expensive, though. Technically, they should have 2 towers killed at this point. They should have the offlane tower dead, and this should be the safe lane killed. And now they got to get back mid, but I don't think they're going to make it. They've got no glyph. Maybe not. Guess Radiant is going to back off, playing it safe. They know that the rest of the team is going to come back, so I guess I think they could have pressured that. They could have committed to it. Instead, they're going to go for a fight. Smoke coming out of LFY.
And Monet has got that Sanjo on top of the Mask of Madness, so with the God Strength, he's going to be kicking out a lot. Level 12 as well, so he's got the second point in the God Strength. Pycat on the front lines of the Zora. Super gives the vision with his positioning on the back of that Invis rune, and they get Pycat. The perfect catch for LFY, and this time they'll transition a carry kill into a tier 2 tower as they put the pressure on.
Can they kill it, though? They did, dude.
They've still got a good duration of the God Strength. Yeah. They should have a good chance. I don't know if Navi want to try and come back into this one. It looks like, Dendy's going to just have to put some trading pressure onto the tier 2 down bottom.
Because they used the glyph earlier mid, now they can't use it for the top tier 2. That was actually a really good gank and snag there by them. Really nicely done, but Navi maybe could use some more wards in the area, and maybe want to caught the smoke, but I mean, if we look at their wards right now, it's all super aggressive. They just placed them aggressive by the enemy tier 2. The other two, one was covering the mid lane, which is okay. But that was basically it. Just the enemy jungle one. It didn't spot anybody.
Cover this whole.
Like there's the whole left side of the map basically. No wards. They couldn't tell if LFY was slowing down, which lane they were going to move to and gank. Maybe they could have figured it out, but it's kind of costly error there. So maybe they can dive Batrider to do the same thing that their opponents just did, but they don't even have Chaotic Offering right now. Like again, they needed Chaotic Offering to get that kill, and they got a tier 1 out of it. But that was probably not worth it if it's just a support. I think that was kind of a costly error. Even though it did give them something, I think they needed a little bit more.
Down in the jungle, Afu. He's going to make a step too far to the right. As he ends up walking into Navi. They will realize, of course, well, even if they have that ward there, Afu still... Yeah, I guess, as you said, actually for LFY, they've got no vision down by that tier 2. Yeah. Only to the river side of it all.
That's a good snag. Helps to have wards. He did ward the cliff. Actually, they've had that there a while. Maybe that's why he felt comfortable being in the jungle.
Bottom lane, Navi is still here. I mean, looking towards Inflame. Same time between the two of them, no yules on Zeddy. There's not really the best amount of catch. Talking about good catch, though, the Blink Dagger's now finished for General.
Okay. That's a really good pickup then. Once they get that, they got to start dueling. Death Prophet's probably the goal there. She's got okay armor 6, and she got the magic resistance perk, so she's pretty survivable with her Rod of Atos. But with the duel and a little bit of follow-up from Alina or something like that, she definitely will die. So I just like that Navi is playing very aggressively in the enemy jungle. This is good, because pretty much always the tier 2 is a little threatened, and it kind of limits the rotation paths for these supports. They have to walk through river, a lot of places where there's commonly wards. Little do they know, 0 wards, but they can pretty much approach anywhere, mid lane and safe lane very easily.
Let's see what they can do with this. They have Epicenter, they have Duel, they have Chaotic Offering. All the ults to go, Navi. They just require General to get that initial jump. They're being a little scared about this here. They're leaving Dendi to just solo push this bottom tier 2, and he's actually nearly finished it off there. No reaction coming from LFY.
That's a big mistake, though. Like, if you're going to smoke, don't let the Warlock run in front. It should be a Sand King. Maybe don't even put the ward on the Sand King, but at least run together. That way, if the smoke breaks, maybe you can react if you want to. But instead, Biver just wastes the Observer Ward, basically. Breaks the smoke, and it instantly gets dewarded. That's just a little bit sloppy. And it costs him. That's one less ward aggressively. That's maybe a kill loss. That could have been a tier 1 tower that they get afterwards. So, in the meantime, LFY is doing the opposite to their opponents. They're playing their jungle instead. They know where Navi's been playing. They're going to do the opposite.
Inflame's now got his Blink Dagger off that push up top. Yeah, SNY complete. Not only SNY complete on Monet, he himself is only 300 gold away from having a Blink Dagger also. So mass blinks coming out from LFY.
That's when things get really scary, because Sven jumping in with ultimate is just going to cleave people down, especially if you can grab Warlock at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've got multiple ways to catch him, with the 2 heroes with Blink, the silence as well from DP. If they even clip Biver in these fights, he is going to be taken down incredibly quickly, and without a chance to get off the KO offering, it's going to be hard for Navi to win the team fights. They need all their ultimates.
Razor's getting close to the BKB, though. Are they going to initiate? No, they're just sitting back. Looking for the fight. I like Earth Spirit's positioning, can break smokes, can still initiate, but this is the safe way to do it. Have Pycat hit the building, put a heal on him. Slow and steady.
So they will grab it in. No chance for LFY to do anything initially. Now they'll jump in after the tower's gone. Look for the stun onto Pycat. Good boulder smash as well. They keep him chained up. But there we have this try and attempt to save from General, but it's not enough. They've lost the Razor. The Laguna from Dendi will secure them a kill in return, but Monet chasing forward. Goes here in with the Blink Dagger. Dendi quick with the Light Strike will hold back the Sven. At the same time, Seneko getting magnetized down. Alfu keeping it going here as he lays down the stuns, the Frostbite to finish off Seneko, or the Shadow. Yeah, it's not enough. The Shadow Word here nearly did it. They also do end up finding themselves Biver as well in the tree line. The blink forward's working out. Denny try for the TP out, will make it. Monet doesn't get the sun out in time. There's still LFY picking up 3 kills, moving in onto the tier 1 on the bottom lane. And yeah, as soon as those blinks came online, LFY, they were ready to go. Yeah,
definitely very costly for Navi there. The big mistake was mostly, I think, on the Warlock. Like, the positioning was just weird, right? Like, he was down in this little crink in the river. He had to cast the heal on him. He got back because he was scared about the Bat Rider, and then he got silenced so he couldn't get the ulti off, and just pretty much the whole initiation should have been a little bit limited by Warlock initiating. He might have maybe should have just rocked first instead of going for the heal, but he didn't read what was about to happen as well. And their positioning as a whole was just kind of weak. They were just all in the river, kind of weird. So goes bad for Navi, but they only lose a tier 1 at least, and it cost they had to slow down for the glyph. So they're still in a decent position, but the game is definitely very even right now. There's advantages going both ways.
Monet, looking for BKBs. BKBs for sure going to be massive against this lineup of Navi. They still do have, I guess, the lockdown for the duel and the physical damage there. Dendi, if he does get an axe down the line, that'll be something else. But still, making the majority of his damage redundant is going to be huge. Top lane, they're going for the duel onto Inflame. He's pretty tanky with the drums. In fact, he pops them. Can he get his way out of this? Doesn't look like he can. With Pycat turning up to the fight, thanks to the slowdown and the upheaval from Biver, Navi will still get the kill. Bottom lane at the same time, though, they're actually going to lose another as Dendi moves in, is able to blow up Arfu. He'll go for the TPR. He's going to make it, I believe. There's no way to stop it. Seneko comes in with a Burrow Strike as well. He may actually, he should be fine. He's still got the Sandstorm and such. So Navi getting 2 kills each side of the map, and Dendi gets himself out.
He's playing really well right now, Dendi. 5-0 and 2. Solo kills, man. That's good stuff. And the kill on the Bat Rider was great as well. The duel to set up the upheaval slow. Yeah. And he didn't have Firefly at the time, so he couldn't even fly over cliffs. It just made it so simple. They're actually using Warlock very well. It feels like an aggressive hero in some ways.
Yeah, 2-1-4. Biver, he's been involved in a lot, as you said. And also the great news as well for the fact that Denny's having this good time is he's got 50 Bloodstone charges. They're going up, 21 minutes in, but top lane, Scam will hit from Arfu. He knows that they're still in the neighborhood. It's a little hard to go on this though. They still have the Epicenter and Chaotic Offering ready to turn. Could be risky for LFY, and indeed, yeah, the CM, she's come too close. And Navi just take the quick kill, and if you're LFY, you got to get the rest of you out of there. You do not want to take this fight.
They could maybe chase for the Bat Rider. Seneco's got a blink in 2. See if he goes for it. He's soul ranked. He's thinking about it. The Soul Ring Sandstorm. And the tier 1 tower that should have been dead a long time ago will now be killed. after it gets glyphed. Although, LFY could defend this maybe. They're thinking about it.
Close, but nah, they're gonna let it. I think at least until the Sven has the BKB there, they'll certainly think twice about taking it to fight.
It's not just Sven, Death Prophet as well. She's also building one. But they need it. There's too many nukes on Navi's side. They have to deal with upheaval. They have to deal with multiple burrow strikes. It's going to be a difficult thing to play through. Razor going for a Halberd next. Kind of an interesting choice, but I think it'll work.
Yeah, Monet not only just nearing the BKB, but nearing that max, well, he's got it now, max level God Strength. But I just noticed as well, quite a level difference between himself and Pycat. Pycat only sitting down at 14. Monet, with the farm and the experience that he's managed to gather, he's 4 levels ahead.
Yeah. He's also died 3 more times. That's definitely part of it. So being around kills and heroes dying and hitting creeps a lot, yeah, makes a big difference. But Razor's never really been the best farmer.
Yeah.
And Sven can do that against Ancients and stacks, and Razor is kind of just limited. They're going in.
Go Seneko with the epicenter, the chaotic offering to set up the chance to jump in with the duel. They'll take it. They'll look for one. DDC tries to turn it with the freezing fill, but Pycat mans out with the BKB, takes down the CM. Arfu will jump in with the magnetize. Denny's going to be taken down. Still though, they've got the grab, the control, the damage from Monet as they punish Pycat, and now they look for more. Up on the cliff, it's not going to save Seneko. LFY hitting back very, very hard there. Super did buy back for that engagement though.
That was easily worth it, though. I mean, he's at 350 gold. That cost him about 800. Like, he gets experience in the fight, and it kills Navi, and they get Roche.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, it's about the team fight win. It's not about how much gold you win or lose in the fight. So, almost everything burned there just to kill the Death Prophet. It was Epicenter. It was Razor BKB. So, they get a Death Prophet kill, and they get a Crystal Maiden kill. And after that, the fight's over. No duel, no rock, no upheaval, no Epicenter.
Same time, Navi still keeping Dendi and such down there on the bottom lane, trying to push forward. So see if they can be punished by this. They try and chase this down. Dendi will be saved by General. Still seeing if they can get the catch back. Actually, by the pit here, there was an attempt from Seneko by the looks of it to try and get a steal off. It's unsuccessful. He will still escape. Doesn't get punished for the play. But yeah, they have the Aegis in their hands now, LFY.
Oh, just need another good play, and they'll be able to burn through this. Still no BKB for Death Prophet, but she'll make it soon. So Navi will continue to play in the off lane, looking for supports pushing out too far. But I don't think LFY will fall for that kind of a thing.
Monet as well, building very defensively. He's looking for that Linken's. I guess it's actually such a good Linken's game, isn't it? I mean, if you consider what static link, duel, even Laguna Blade, all things that could cause issues for a Sven.
Yeah, it's a good choice. This is more of a AY 2000 looking thing to me because he's already got BKB, so he's kind of going.
Both of them, yeah.
It's a little overkill, but he's so fast already.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of generic stats, which is good for the hero. More mana pool, more mana regen. I think it's all good. Maybe it should be a Daedalus or something, but
you'd like to see maybe
but
the damage.
It's definitely the right move because if you think about the team fight, what's the one thing that's going to beat him? And it's maybe duel or chain stun or static link, really. Because if he just doesn't get static linked, he doesn't have a lot of threats. There's not much on the enemy team that he has to worry about. They're going to spot the enemy hero. It's Dendi.
Yeah,
they get the dust.
Silence into the smash with the dust out as well. Perfectly set up by the Earth Spirit, and he's already looking for more. He's found the vision on Survivor. Have they got anything to hold back the TP? They don't need to, because they'll kill him before he's out of there.
They got a big-ass sword. That's all they need.
That was, yeah, I mean, Arfu just setting that all up again. We've seen some fantastic Earth Spirits here. Epicenter and Arfu's definitely up there.
Yeah, Monet's playing really well. Going for attack speed at 20 as well. Doesn't need evasion. Like, there's not right-click problems. It's basically just the static link. And the fights for Navi haven't gone amazing. They've gone okay, just not amazing. So tier 2 likely to fall in the mid lane. Nope, never mind. They're going to run. Still playing safe.
I guess, yeah, because the ultimates, you've got the Epicenter and Duel still to be worried about. In fact, they might get a grab at Dendi. Oh, gets in position for a 2-man light strike. Take down the CM. BKB comes out from Super. Navi will try and see if they can chase. Nice silence onto the SK, and now the turnaround. Monet comes in with the cleave damage, hitting hard onto the Sankey. The cleave, it's enough. Monet gets one. He gets himself a second there with the help of Super, and they're moving in for more. The route onto Pycat, immediately forcing him to pop the BKB and try and get out of there. Arfu's still got 4 stones to play with. We'll see if they can dive in for this one. Super has the exorcism up. Jump forward from Monet, gets the stun, but then in return, the 3-man chaotic offering comes out. It doesn't matter because Arfu hits the 2-man boulder smash and the silence. Pycat's got to back up, but again, the rod of Atos holding him in position. Can Monet find the vision for the stun? He's got it in 1 second. He can't by the looks of it, but Super will be back for round 2. Throws down a silence just to make sure nothing else comes in from the north. And LFY hold Navi back. Brilliant jump back in there. Monet coming forward with the God Strength, now ready to push down a tier 2. And the pressure is back on for Navi.
He's just doing so much damage. Like, it's really too bad for Navi there that they weren't able to have Razor go in at the same time that the Warlock stuff happened, because if he still had static link up, he could guarantee the full sap, lots of minus armor from Eye of the Storm, and actually kill probably 2 of those heroes. But once Death Prophet revives, it's way too dangerous. But I have never seen so much value from a DP with a BKB. Like, it feels like she's untouchable in all the moments that they need her to be untouchable. It's happening consistently. Just perfect teamfight decision making for LFY. They know exactly when to go in, and it keeps winning them fights against Navi.
And as you keep it, this Fen is just going to become more and more of an issue as the game goes on. Monet, once he does that, have that Lincoln, as you said, he's going to be untouchable. It's going to be so hard to bring this man down, especially when he's got the backup of his team.
No problem.
He's very rarely been caught out alone.
Razor's going to have Halberd. It's a little rare that Razor actually does have an active that he can break it with, but Halberd's a great item right now, even though he's an agility hero. It's going to work. Break Lincolns, get the static link. I'm sure he'd love to have both, but can't always hope for stuff like that, unfortunately. Lena's trying to pick up a Lincoln's after the plate mail, which I think is okay, I guess.
Casual plate mail?
But I feel like the hero that's actually making the big difference this game is just Afu. Like,
it really is. This
consistently just silencing the right heroes, disabling the right heroes, making it difficult for them to take the fight on the Sven and the Death Prophet. Like, you only kill those heroes with abilities, basically. You need to keep them kited, in position, keep nuking them. But as long as he keeps putting that teamfight disruption out, it's so hard for Navi to take fights. Legion going to go for a Halberd as well. Same plan. Break Lincolns. Although I don't think they realize that Sven's building it just yet. They can tell now, I'm sure, but just smart choices. It's great anti-Sven item either way.
Yeah, it really is, yeah. Getting a good fair bit of time at that God Strength made essentially redundant. That will be exactly what they need just to try and stop the damage output from LFY, but certainly as we've seen other sources, and as you mentioned, Super with the Exorcism being very, very destructive for Navi to try and teamfight into. Just control around the pit at the moment. Still a fair bit of time until we'll see Roshan back up. Both teams starting to slow the pace down a bit. And yeah, but I mean, pretty much Navi waiting on those 2 Halberds, I believe, before they do try and fight again. As Snakeo's pushing out the bottom lane. We'll want to try and finish off that Veil next. LFY are coming across, though. They did have that ward here, so they know that Navi have got General and Pycat back here, whilst the rest of Navi are down bottom. But it looks like they couldn't quite catch them in time, as General and Pycat already on the way to, by the looks of it, join Navi for a potential high ground attempt on the bottom lane.
Halberds are finished, though. Good luck attacking, suckers.
See if they can do it. Halberd boys.
This is actually pretty bad for what Razor does, though. Like 10% slow when it procs. But the main chance is high. 35% is huge, actually. So could be useful for Legion, but I'm sure he'd also rather have something like a Blade Mail. If he just had Blade Mail, actually, and just got duels off on Sven, he would definitely kill Sven rapidly. Lincoln is up, and Daedalus is next. But I mean, I don't really blame him. General's been trying to get dual kills. He's constantly split pushing bottom, waiting to see if the support comes to push it out, but nobody ever goes. And that's one of the downsides to Navi's lineup, is that despite them split pushing all the time, they don't have a good threat against buildings. So LFY just doesn't go there. Though. Oh, your creeps are gonna hit my tower. That's fine. It's just been slowly chipping down, slowly.
Oh, and look who they've found. Dendy. Just ripped to pieces. He's down for 50 seconds. He doesn't have buyback in. Mone's going to try and see if he can catch more, potentially, but Navi already backing away. I mean, so just one blink stun, and Dendy's gone.
Yeah. He has armor, but it only does so much. He has to get out of there as soon as that stuff happens.
There we have it. The rain with the Godstrike. The coast up as well. Actually looking to jump in. Mono will go straight in up to the back of it all. The first Halberd comes out, forces him to back away. Fortification as well. Navi trying to do the best to hold.
That's pretty good.
They have got the ultimates.
BKB was used. God Strength is on cooldown. I think they have to back here. So, not terrible for Navi. I mean, every second that comes off the BKB for Sven is a huge advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Just to make sure that they have got their chance to punch through him. And they really do need to get those the jump, though. As we're seeing at the moment, LFY have been getting the jumps onto Navi and quickly being able to kill heroes before anything's done in return.
Smoking out of the base. Invis rune found for Death Prophet, though. This could ruin things. Not sure if they have what they need.
Pycat did pop the plasma field whilst they were smoked and the creeps were pushing in, so...
Yeah, they might have seen it.
I'm pretty sure they would have seen it there. They would have been looking at that part of the map and...
Ooh, they found money.
Ooh, but there's the Lincolns to block the Burrow Strike, and
Yep.
I think that there just pays it off massively, because if he was caught by that, he very well could be dead.
Yeah, that could have been
still off cooldown. That Lincoln Sphere saving him
yeah, absolutely.
immensely.
Could have been a duel immediately afterwards. So they're going to scan, actually. They're predicting that they're Roshing. But Rosh actually isn't up. Although Biver's waiting there. And it's going on and off, so they know for sure that somebody's in the area. Oh, and the Invis
will get the intel as well. He knows exactly what's up.
Is he going to solo kill him?
He's got eyes on Biver. Monet is on his way over with the war cry. There's the jump forward. No TP out for you, sir. They'll take him down. At the same time, though, Arfu will get caught out. Down on the bottom. Looks like he may have been... Was he going for a warning mission or
Did he
such?
get dueled? Yeah, I think he got dueled.
He was on 24 before. Yeah, he's on 38 now. Yeah, did get the bonus damage for that. So trades, up and down, support for support. Top lane, Sneko pushing it out. Super is there. See if they can punish this. He's got the rod. Snake's silenced up as well. Does have a TP, and there we have. Quickly, with the blink, TP out, we'll make it.
Really nicely done. Pretty survivable right now on Seneko, actually. Blink Force got a medallion as well, so... Maybe not the best anti-Sven item, not as it used to be. The mischance actually be great against Sven right now, because giving armor to somebody only helps if Sven hits you directly. If he's cleaving, it actually ignores your armor. So does evasion. So all this evasion only works on Navi if all of their heroes have it.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't have to get me started on cleave damage, Kevin. I love it. I think it's so good. It's just, yeah, nothing. You can't do anything to stop it. There's nothing that reduces
Halberd?
You can do something to stop it, but then... You and your halberd.
Slows, disables. There's definitely ways.
But if you're hitting someone, then you can't stop the cleave damage. You got to get the hell away from your friends.
And he is going Daedalus as well, so that means he's not going to have the item slots for a Monkey King bar later. He's not going to have the true strike of a Bloodthorn. So there's definitely ways Navi can play around this, possibly get some advantage, but we'll see if they can do that the right way, because pretty consistently it's been Sven jumping in, blowing somebody up.
Yeah, Molly just looks for jumping. He's in there. You don't need to tell him to go. He's already killing him.
So can Navi take the fight here? They're moving in. This is pretty good for them.
But look at that straight in. He does get the BKB out of time. The lasso's there, though. Monet throws the stun back to make sure the Seneko can't Burrow Strike. Pycat's going to live through this initiation, though. They do lose Sand King. There's the Frostbite. He'll get the Halberd out in time, but Monet's just going to stand and watch him, then finish him off. Take the third kill as LFY. They're not done yet. They're looking for Biver. They'll surround the wall. Monet jumps in. One shot there to bring down the old man wizard. And 4 deaths on Navi. This should be a Roshan secure for LFY. And it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, the way that Navi approached that was just not going to work. They have great ward set up. Like, look at the ward vision right now for LFY compared to what Navi has. Navi has one ward on the other side of the map, and that's it. That's all they have. No vision. So they have Rosh control. They have heroes in Rosh. The only good thing that Navi kind of did was that Razor used BKB before he got lassoed, and he stopped the Blink Daggers. But all that happened was Death Prophet just hit the backline. Death Prophet hits the backline. Supports start dying. The Warlock Golem came a little bit late, and we didn't see a Sand King Epicenter either. So basically the whole backline of Navi just didn't do anything. And it was just Pycat by himself in the front doing anything he could. But it wasn't much. Couldn't break the Lincolns on the Sven, so he tried to use Static Link on it, and then it broke it. But that was right before he died, so I mean, I don't blame him. At that point, you kind of have to go for it. Maybe somebody broke it on my team.
Off the back of it as well now. Monet, level 25, has that completed Daedalus. Bottom lane, Inflame trying to play around with Dendi. And Seneko is here. Oh, nice silence from Arfu though, and now they can turn this LFY. They're coming in onto Seneko. He's rooted up, held down, taken out, and at the same time, Monet finds himself a Legion Commander. He may even find himself more. He's already forcing Pycat back, who has to BKB run away, but the Boulder Smash perfectly timed, coming in after the BKB wears out, and the 2.4k damage from Monet takes this man apart. They're looking for Dendi. Dendi will survive for now. But this is just starting to get ridiculous. The damage that this man does with that DD, there was no hope for Navi.
Yeah, that was like, hit for 1,000 damage without critting. That's insane. I don't think I've ever seen damage numbers that high without Rapier. My god.
I mean, look at Arfu. This man, he just jumps past Rax and forces Dendi to kill himself.
Yep.
He consistently smashing and silencing on point.
And all he has is a Blink Dagger, that's it. That's all it takes, man. This guy's good. And it looks like that's going to be it for Navi in this series. Like, they got some buybacks, but it's not going to be enough. They need a full team. They need them now. And by the time they get up, it's going to be at least a 2 racks here.
LFY are just... These guys are looking amazing. Players as well that we haven't necessarily seen in a while on any sort of top teams, but coming together like this, Arfu and Inflame being a relatively recent addition to the team, and it is just working out perfectly. They've got plans, they've got ideas, and Inflame up on the high ground. But of course he knows he's fine, because he can rely on Arfu to get that boulder smash off from Amalo. The stun comes in.
But they got the sap at least.
Ooh, yeah, he's trying to go in onto Pikecat. He's going to steal a fair bit of damage. Can they turn this? No, it doesn't look like they can. Monet still chunks through General, now turns back towards Pikecat. I mean, this is a Sven that's had 200 damage stolen, and he doesn't care.
He still hits for 500. And Pikeat's not even close to 25 either. He could get more static link steal.
He's so far away.
God, so hard for them to fight. Maybe the downsides of the build that Razor went the Halberd
Oh yeah,
over,
I really
over
feel
something more right-clicky, but it's more a function of them losing team fights, really. And Razor doesn't catch up.
Definitely the fact that both him and General built the Halberd, it's like...
Well, I mean, I think that's reasonable. It's just they both needed to break the Lincolns, right? Like, that's why the Lincolns is such a good pickup.
Yeah.
It just countered both of the series. It made Pykat's team fight so much harder. It can't just cast Static Link right at the start, so then it just makes Monet's life easier. Ulti, jump in, Warcry, stun somebody, Mask of Madness, kill.
I really think, though, I think you said it, though. I think the biggest difference would have been if General had a Blade Mail against this Sven. Like, that could have done...
Maybe,
That could have done a lot.
It could have, if he got out really fast, but I felt like his progression was a little bit slow.
Okay.
Like, once he got Blink Dagger, pretty much every fight for Navi was kind of decent, but not amazing. He didn't really get a lot of dual targets.
Oh, hello,
Oh, he does remove it. They can fight here.
Yes, Seneko comes back up with the Burrow Strike. There's the jump forward, though. Arfu gets the smash. The silence. Seneko in trouble. Will be surrounded. Tries to get himself out. It's not going to happen. Arfu, once again, with the control of the Earth Spirit. More than enough. Pikecat, BKBing, holding, hoping that he can get out of this one from the sidelines, and he can. Nothing to go for the BKB CP. He will escape. So Seneko, the only casualty. General still being eyed up by Super, but should be able to play his way out of this. But it's looking grim for Navi, of course, in this situation. 2 racks down. The tier 2 still standing on the bottom lane. No Sand King for 30 seconds. We'll see what LGD FY can get done with this.
Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah. 20k lead as well.
Even taking a team fight against him and stuff, like, and you also have to worry about Afu just jumping in and chain stunning somebody perfectly. Yeah. Like, it's hard to watch him and not just appreciate how good he is at Earth Spirit.
He's so good. He's playing absolutely out of his mind this game, this Earth Spirit.
That's every game. This guy plays Earth Spirit, man.
It's great to see. Definitely one of the best Earth Spirits we have here at this LAN. Damage dealt. Of course, expected 27k from Mr. Sven. And where's the damage from Navi? It just is not there in comparison.
I didn't see anything.
I didn't see it. Jesus, bud. There we go, another tower for LFY, opening up this final set. For Racks and tier 3 on the high ground, what can Navi do? The ghosts are out, LFY ready to commit. How can Navi peel them off? Let's look at it, Fleb. He just goes straight past it all. He's straight into the base. Monet just jumps in onto General. They've got the lasso. They get the crit, bring down the Legion Commander, and Monet's just going to run at them now and recover the BKB, but it will wear out. Pikecat turns with the disarm. Super with his own BKB, though, forcing the squishies of Navi to back up to base. Lincoln's is popped on Dendi. They're just pushing them away from the racks. Monet gets back in, looks for the damage. Now he jumps in. There will be the stun control, but Arfu with the boulder smash. The silence onto 3. They're totally controlled, and the magnetizing the damage from Monet, pulling them apart as Dendi has to kill himself once more. The smash again from Arfu as Navi is sent back to the base. The mega creeps will be claimed, and GG is called. It's all too much as LFY, I think they're looking like one of the best, maybe the best team we've had so far at the group stages. Their performances are just perfect each and every time.
They just don't make any mistakes ever.